Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Good afternoon. Hi guys. Let me introduce myself. My name is Kris Angelina. You can call me Firna. I'm from English Education class C21. Well, here I will explain about one of the works of English literature entitled Hard Times by Charles Dickens, 1854. So the biography of Charles Dickens is full name Charles John Human Dickens, born February 7, 1812, place of birth Langford, England, profession writer, nationality British, famous works The Pickwick Papers, Black House, Hard Times, and others. Biography Charles John Human Dickens, who was born February 7, 1812, was a famous English novelist or romantic writer. From the reign of the Victorian queens of Great Britain in the 19th century. History personal life. Charles John Human Dickens is a famous English novelist or romantic writer, born on February 7, 1812 and died on June 9, 1870, having spent his time writing briefly stories and novels, and at the age of 18, Dickens frequently read William Shakespeare, Goldsmith's British History, as well as Berger short notes on Roman sentence. Dickens later became true reporter, The Sun, and then in the life of Dickens wrote The Pickwick. The paper was followed by his marriage in April 1836 to Charles Chatelain Hogan. 3 years earlier, he had separated from his first love, Maria Bigden, whom he first met 1830, when Dickens was having trouble in his marriage. In 1857, Dickens met Ellen Ternan, who later accompanied him the end of the story. Story is Charles Dickens was born in Langford near Portsmouth, Hampshire, on February 7, 1812. He was the second child of John Dickens and Elizabeth Dickens Newborough, and he is a reformist writer who writes about bad things to change society for the better. His next job was Charleston officer in 1829, and previously he had to learn the general system for fast writing, which he mastered actually thanks to his strong memory. During this time, he actually had the opportunity to become an actor. He was even going to education for the legend teacher, but he fell ill. At the age of 18, Dickens often appeared reading the works of William Shakespeare, Gordon Smith's Story of England, as well as Bridget Shaw's account of the Roman Saint. Dickens that became a reporter for the Sun, 1830 to 1832. Mirror of Parliament, and the Morning Church. Dickens was known as an accurate and fresh reporter. In 1833, his career as a fiction writer began short stories and essays. His first published essay was a dinner at Popular Walk in December 1833 in the monthly Messines. In 1850, Dickens founded a weekly journal called Household Words, which concerned his works. One of them is Hard Times, 1854. In the midst of his health that connection to the court in 1169. He began writing the Mystery of Edwin Drood, which was published in 1870. Then on June 9, Dickens died suddenly at God's Hill Place, and his dream house since childhood that he bought in 1856, and he brought it in Westminster Abbey. The other literary works writer: 1. A Christmas Carol, 2. Statues by Was, 3. American Nuts, 4. A Child's History of England, 5. Black House, 6. The Tricot on the Heart, 7. Dombey and Son, 8. The Chimes, 9. Little Chariot, and others. Synopsis of the story from the story of the novel Hard Times by Charles Dickens. Tells of a tragic life that saturates the dark side of life during the Revolution. First Times is set in England, which tells the drama of the life of the Credit family, the family that represents the broadest shirt at the time. Hard Times attacked artillery's renames, zeppelins, and rationalisms. There are three combats culprits during the Industrial Revolution, and also tell about the explanation of the working class or the hard times that occurred at the time. Mr. Great is an educator and has 2 children, namely Lois and Thomas. She raised her two children rightly and emphasized that they need not know anything other than factual and pragmatic information. The life without beauty, culture, imagination, and likely and any empathic, sensitive towards other people. Lois married a bank and factory owner named Joshua Bowdraby. However, she eventually left her husband and returned to her father's house. His brother Tom Grant lives up to being someone who has bad morals. He robbed his brother-in-law's bank. After that incident, and exacerbated by the ongoing crisis, Mr. Great realized that the way she had raised her children had ruined their lives. And the others' personal similarities to the story. The Hard Times was written by Charles Dickens with the quote, "Humans are not tools, and don't treat them like one." This is quoted by Charles Dickens in his novel by relating life during the difficult times of the Industrial Revolution in England, which greatly emphasized the materialism and capitalism of 18th century English society. Story analysis. The Hard Times certifies life during the hard times of the Industrial Revolution in England, which emphasized materialism and capitalism. In hard times, this short times is confided in the twists and turns of life. The main of the main character goes throughout. This story is set in England during the post-industrial revolution in a small town called Coketown to be precise. Thomas Green is an educator, and he implements a system where everyone must rely on faith inside of sections, stuff like creativity and ignoring feelings. It was Cecilia job that daughter of a circus performer who caught Mr. Extensions. Great Green because this trailing by its standards. Hard Times also tells the sad life of Stephen Blackpool, a poor worker in a factory owned by Bowdraby. Blackpool married a drunken woman, and he really wanted to divorce her, but the cost of divorce was very expensive. So Blackpool enrolled Missouri. Blackpool President was noted by Lucia. Lucia told him to wait a few days and fount of the pain, and Lois a straight Blackpool that helped pull through the cup. However, Blackpool got nothing. Blackpool was found badly interested at the dig site, despite being tried. His intestines were too severe and he died. Before he died, Blackpool proved his innocence. The credits and boundaries then suspect that Tom is the one who robbed the bank because he turns out to be addiction to gambling. It turns out the Cecilia told Tom to hide in the circus where he used to work. The greats then helped him escape to America. Thomas' great-greats is a symbol of a philosophy of children's which thinks the very human beings as a flu that can be researched and interactions between humans are purely transitional. This is shown when Lois meets her father when Bondreby proposes to him. The child Great Queen and Bondreby. At times also certain humans machinations, and the Industrial Revolution did not only change the world of work, but affects all aspects of society, economy, life. And hard time records the sad life of workers during the Industrial Revolution, represented by Stephen Blackpool. Even though he wanted to live a meaningful life, Blackpool simple could not do it because he was poor and not very smart. However, despite being poor and stupid, he is someone who is persistent and tenacious. In the middle of the story, as it neared the end, this view is thoroughly opposed by Dickens. This Sir Dickens was confided in a dramatic way by Lois when she admitted to her father that she had suffered greatly in her marriage to Bondreby. Lois explains that she cannot feel love because since childhood she has only been taught past, not feelings. Then at the end of book 3, Dickens returns to these themes by explaining that of all the main characters, only Cecilia lives happily with her family, while Lois is not remarried and is just starting to learn to understand her feelings with Cecilia and her husband. As for character analysis, one Thomas Great is a well-known school board inspector destined to purpose profitable companies. His name is now used more generally to refer to someone who is taught and only emphasizes cult, faiths, and figures, a follower of authoritarian ideas that nurtured in the imagination. 2. Joshua Berry is a business partner of Mr. Great Green. And then Bond is heartless, self-centered, and ultimately exposed as a liar and fraud. 3. Loisa Great Green is the eldest child of the Credit family. She had been taught to suppress her feelings and found it difficult to express herself clearly, saying as a child that she had an uncontrollable mind. 4. Cecilia, or Sissy Job, is a circus girl from the Slurry Circus, as well as student from the very strict Thomas Graded class. Sissy has her own values and beliefs that make her seem unintelligent in the Graded household. At the end of the novel, when the Graded's philosophy of only sticking to facts complex Sissy is the center who guides them on how to live. Thomas or Tom Graded Jr. is the eldest son and second child of the Great Queens. Inability, sadly, and resentful of his father's itinerant upbringing. Tom has a strong relationship with his sister Louisa. And then Stephen Blackpool was a worker in one of the Brownberry factories. He has a drunken wife who no longer stays queen, but pops up from time to time. He forms a close band with Rachel, a co-worker whom he intended to marry. And then the message that Charles Dickens wanted to convey by writing Hard Times are a choice beyond the boundaries of space and time. The implied message from Dickens here is humans are not tools. Don't treat them like because excessive rationalism will only make you blind, and most importantly, and never lose your humanity.